T1, the pressure point is on them. KT have baited them into the trap. Peter from the darkness, finding Doran, but not the ideal carry as Guma and Faker are still untouched for now. Gravity field to lock them up. Back to Justin. Cubs getting lower, but still living the Mundo. Refusing to die, and Guma UT drops. KT taking it across the finish line. Faker forced back. The bot lane open. The TP there for BDD. KT moving to match point. A story at this tournament of dominance when it started, and people doubted the quality of their opposition, and then they beat Gen G, and now they're taking T1 to match point. KT monstrous in Worlds 2025. Let's see what the AD has to say about it.
To work their way through difficult times, complete an arduous journey, and make it back to the very top. So with this roster, can KT, maybe a Camille in there as well, some of these T1 champions that you have seen them use, create dive comps. That could be a tool that they use very aggressively. Okay, they're gonna start out with bot lane.
I don't want to say hater because that's too much, but I don't love it. We'll see though, Cuz thus far has earned the confidence in this to try and fight for that bot lane prio.
And this is a very powerful siege combination. Trundle pillars with Caitlyn pushing, assuming that Peter is actually going to play a bully support. Sometimes they have actually, for KT, they did like Caitlyn. Those combination comps are gonna come through for them with the heavy dive. You get Carrio's Renata here. He's gonna
have really struggled in this series. It feels like KT's early game has been better. Almost all of the times is BDD going to be blinding Cassio or playing Cassio into what is already such a short-range composition.
They have been there before with their backs against the wall in must-win game. So Galio, Nocturne combinations, maybe a Camille in there as well. Some of these T1 champions that you have seen them use create dive comps. That could be a tool that they use very aggressively. Okay, they're gonna start out with bot lane.
Feels nigh unplayable, but Blitz is a different story altogether. Peter!
Oh, Tom Kench. Okay, an answer into the power that this Nocturne can bring. Denies a lot of the dive.
Yeah, exactly. He knows that they're going to...
Was one of the pivotal points as I was thinking about this.
Yanivia locked in. Obviously a champion against champions like Trundle and the Tom Kench. The power of that ulti to really slow T1.
Yeah, still got to be the Gragas. They round it out. Okay, it is a bit versatile in the KT side at the moment, and they get counter.
Okay, let's all take a breath.
We're not going to get baited by others.
No room for breathing.
No.
Mordekaiser.
He's going to lock in here. Perfect. What's the R5?
It is interesting because Mordekaiser is a champion that can still split push even when faced with Nocturne comps.
True.
So I do like it even when T1 have ways to attack side lanes, with Nocturne and other people joining. It is something that can still always have threat there due to the Mordekaiser ultimate.
I will also just say, in terms of ease of execution, there's almost no reliable hard CC on the entirety of this KT lineup. They're really going to need to have full map control, be better on the setup. Redemption for Faker, 2015, 2016, denied in 2017. This roster wants to be the first to make the three-peat happen.
The ever-elusive three-peat. And as you say it, Carrier flashes the Faker emotes. See if they can actually do it this time.
Greg is kind of self-explanatory. His ability to create space. Carrier!
Flash away. Carrier tries to get him with the Q flash. Dom.
Making his way over. Even getting a summoner or getting the egg would be big.
Faker grounded. Cuz on the way in. Good wall. The force to disengage. But BDD full committing even though he has no mana. They do manage to get the passive out of Faker. Cuz full committing. Peter on the way. The tongue lash there. They want to give the kill to BDD, but it'll go to Cuz in the end.
And when could be the deciding game, KT, they send all resources again towards mid lane to BDD to make it happen.
But it's Cuz that gets the kill again. Now we saw how that benefited them. As T1 wanting to look for the punish here.
Carrier and Guma are powerful. They move in with the heal. A pillar to immediately block them out. The 50-50 goes to Owner. Flash away from the handshake as Peter barely able to make it out alive. Good recovery from T1.
There's a lot of damage available early on to take down these targets for KT. Again, it feels like it's going to come down to what can we find in the team fight.
Yeah, an excellent lane assignment from T1. Again, Faker easily able to wave clear, even in the face of the Caitlyn Tom Kench. Good lane, mid lane control from Keria and Gumayushi, and now Owner walks his way up top side. Immediate 3 grubs secure.
Objectives. So we'll see if the emphasis on the earlier Dragon Soul for them does come to fruition. Kalista, of course, looking to be a snowball.
And I do love that it's Doctor playing that Caitlyn skin from DRX. The last time that T1 lost in the finals, it was against that team as Faker. Should be fine here, but Cryo is continuously maintained, and look at the top side. T1 keeping these waves shoved in, and plates will be their rewards.
And this feels like the first game where T1 are able to build such a clear advantage in the early stages. Yes, BDD has a small gold lead, but Gumayushi essentially, no one can stop this man from pushing in, from building a greater advantage. And you already talked about Drake stacking, right? Kalista, a champion who very effortlessly can contest the big smites of the game, and when Owner and Guma are working together, it feels pretty impossible for KT to stop an objective that T1 have started.
Guma on a lot of champions is pretty good at contesting dragons as well.
Has been known for that, yeah.
He has stolen, even at this tournament, multiple dragons on different AD carry champions. This time around, though, we continue the farm fest, my friends.
Nice. Love it. You know, it's
bringing the LCK to the world.
It wouldn't be your final cast if we didn't get a little, the appropriate pace. For an
obviously,
matchup.
the main issue is that normally we go completely off topic.
Sure.
We're not going to do that here.
No. Professionalism.
Yeah, obviously. There's a hex plate now done here for Owner. We'll have that available going into the first fight. Looks like double roll out to come through here for T1 as well.
20 seconds.
BDD close to his. Trying to, I think, scout out, and this time T1, if they can set up again, trying to regain control into Renata, into Anivia, kind of a nightmare. We haven't really talked about it too much, but the engage from KT, just not the best. It's really looking like a full commit or bust.
Cuz ready for the 50-50. Faker off to the side, decent damage on a BDD. Owner going all in. Flashback coming out from Cuz. Wall there as well as BDD just barely able to skirt around the edge. So the objective set up now for the side of T1. Double TPs. KT want to claim a bit for a bit more. Ulti coming out from the side of Keria. Drake down. The backline of KT berserk as they look if they can turn it back. But again, they don't have the tools to keep the fight going. Unless Peter wants to flash tongue lash. But that's all their CC. Perfect fighting off to the side. Dragging Faker into the death realm. In the meantime, BDD starting to walk forward. Door potentially cut out. The forward man! BDD! Showing he can be clutch in the moments that count. Turning it again. KT were losing the fight as they lost the objective. Gumayushi will not be able to make the bailout work. The Drake to T1. The fight to KT.
Oh, Doran's gonna want that one back. The big whiff on the Gragas engager.
Peter, knock up a bit too far. The thick skin, yeah, it's not gonna save you. Caught up in the hype, caught up in the moment. Faker gonna get one back.
Yeah, getting a little bit ahead of themselves there. The roller coaster sometimes a bit of a bumpy ride.
With very long cooldown sums and abilities, T1 still have a much easier time setting up fights, setting up picks, and because they've secured those 2 Drakes, they will inevitably be allowed to force at least one fight on their own terms, even now as we see both teams setting up for the Herald.
And I think that will be necessary for T1, because KT, they have used this Caitlyn so effectively from the very beginning of the tournament, and they've constantly looked towards the late game with this champion for Doctum, and the siege power, the extra range. KT right now, speaking of siege, with the 4-1, but T1 are able to take control of it. They've got control and access to the Rift Herald as well, so they can continue to stack these neutral objectives. And that's the way that they're going to apply this pressure to KT and not allow them a lot of extra time in the game.
Early objective stacking going the way of T1, convincingly and fully. As a possible play onto Doran here, a dive with about 50 seconds left on the clock would be big.
Owner on the way. Access to the ulti. TP available. Full commit now going down. Owner turning off the lights. All of KT immediately pulling back. Peter isolated, caught out. Trying to stay standing with the thick skin. Abyssal dive away as Faker takes down the top lane tier 1. And again, this is the struggle of the KT composition. It's so hard to force anything. and T1 continue to trade up.
And T1 read them like a book. The 5-man rotation gets punished heavily. They're ready to keep Doran safe this time around. That Gragas will not be taken down. And then on the cross map, the topside turret falls.
Now they're in a perfect position to contest this next Drake. The good news for the side of KT is at least Dokdom finally has that collector. He's able to chip away at Gumayushi's health bar, but with the Blade of the Rune King and a red buff, Guma forced to be reckoned with. KT poking their heads, and they don't really have the vision, but they do have a ward on the flank. Perfect can find his way in. We'll just take the more conventional path through the mid lane, however.
Look at the flank from Doran here, trying to hide there on the Ocean Rift, looking for a big displacement.
Herald summoned in the mid lane. 5v5 at the pit. Flash ulti available for BDD if he wants to try and find it. Perfect isolated off the side. Hostile takeover stops Peter from going any further. Dokdom completely isolated. Cooking the barrel for just a little bit longer, and now the Drake is gonna go down. Owner taking it. Dokdom isolated, and Perfect trying to force a fight with Faker, but he gets nothing as the wall comes in to interrupt. Flash over the wall. The ulti from BDD. He might get a couple more kills, but again, the objective belongs to KT. Even as T1 begin to fall, Faker and Carry are ready to turn it. But have they overcommitted the wall there, trying to disengage Carry up? Faker running into the pinch, obliterate, connecting for full damage. Cuz on the chase, waiting a few seconds for the pillar, but the stun clutch to disengage for the side of T1.
We've seen him and Gumayushi often be the deciding factor together. As KT, they might just send in an Otacon, at least to get the TP out of Doran.
Understand the gamble the KT are in, because T1 are collapsing, and in the meantime, waves are being deleted. It's costing KT hundreds of gold just to be here. If T1 take the fight, it might just cost them the game.
Perfect has
sticking around, ready to get them away. The ulti not stacked up. Perfect going forward just a little bit longer. The death realm to come out. Owner gonna respond with an ulti of his own, turning off the lights on this team fight between both lineups. Gumayushi and Perfect at the death realm, and Guma takes though. T1. Hostile takeover gonna connect onto BDD. It won't have much effect as Cuz tries to take Faker out. But Dokdom, he might take the area, but it's T1 taking the Otacon. Guma securing the objective.
And there it is, the second smite for T1 strikes again as Otacon goes their way. And if this soul goes over, barring an Elder flip, T1's gotta be feeling real good.
Doran isolated for a moment. The Maya's missed a little bit late as Faker's off to the side. Good damage on the Perfect to kick things off. Cuz still eating a bit of damage. The poke from T1. Been tough to deal with. You can see the pierce that lands on the Dokdom, taking that chunk of health. Flash in, full committal to the fight. Pillar to isolate. Owner, redemption to heal. Faker right back up. That's almost every single cooldown burn. It's on BDD to try to turn it back, but it's a split fight. T1 coming from multiple sides, collapsing as Owner moves in on top of Perfect. Doran has been isolated in the death realm, but he'll manage to make it over. Flashback, absolutely jukes him. Now it's Perfect caught in a one-on-one with Faker right as he comes out. He is stunned, but he won't be taken down. All of T1 in the pit. The spears stacked, smites available.
Faker's gonna teleport back. They're recalling Mordekaiser and the Anivia.
Fight just continues to go. 6K getting lower. Dokdom trying to get a bit of hope. Hostile takeover connecting. Double cleanse. Devour from Peter is good, but it might not matter. Cuz continuing to move in. BDD. Ulti is there, but they don't need to face him yet. The turn on the mirror isn't enough. 3K. Cuz in the pit. At the end of the day, it does not matter because it is Doran to get the soul. KT might be able to get the fight, but there's too many members of T1 standing. Ocean Soul to T.
Didn't actually get to do the damage that he needed to as the double fake out from Doran.
Maybe going to catch out Gumayushi here. But it's Perfect. Again, this is the problem. No matter who TP's in, it's so effortless for T1 to just walk away.
Guma is 2 levels up on the top laner.
Cuz caught out, isolated, immediate suffocate to try and stay standing, forced to flash back. BDD in the darkness! 3-man! But Doran is trying to turn it right back! The ulti is decent, Carry wants to turn it back with the hostile takeover. The gold deficit is just too massive. Even a miracle, even an incredible angle was not enough in the face of this T1 lineup. The triple forth. Absolute dominance in Game 4, though. The story for T1 as we get ready for Game 5. Let's send it back over to the analyst desk.